Hey everyone, I'm Bluey, and it's time to talk about one of my all-time favorite video game franchises, Pokemon. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee are the second generation 1 remakes in the series right after Fire Red and Leaf Green. These games have elements of Pokemon Go and are marketed as beginner entry games of the series. Many people were upset that the first Pokemon games on home consoles were Gen 1 remakes for beginners. I didn't care though. I still bought the game when it came out and beat it in a weekend like I did with X and Y and Sun and Moon. So let's head into a Pokemon journey with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Let's start by talking about the rival character, as he usually gets the most character development and dialogue throughout the game. I hated the rival character when I first played the game. I thought he was just a boring Hal from Sun and Moon. But looking back on it now, he's not a bad character, but there's nothing to make him stand out. Probably because he was a new addition to an old game, and Game Freak must want to just remake this game with ease instead of overhauling the classic formula, which could describe a lot of this game's problems. Anyway, the main story of the game hurts my head. It's pretty easy to understand on its own, just being a Pokemon journey throughout Kanto, but when you think of it as canon to the other Pokemon games, it starts getting confusing. You see, you go through the same motions as Gen 1, battling gym leaders in Team Rocket, but there's cameos by Blue and Green, which implies that the original games already happened, which makes it ridiculous that Team Rocket is doing the exact same plan and the exact same way like it's the original games. But with Blue and Green, the original games must have happened and Let's let the plot cannibalize itself and just talk about the gameplay, which hasn't changed much in terms of trainer battles, as we still have the fun turn-based combat system with type advantages, disadvantages, and Pokemon evolving through leveling up or elemental stones. But there's a big change in wild Pokemon encounters. First off, instead of running through grass, water, and caves randomly to find Pokemon, you can see a Pokemon walking around, then run into it to start the catching process. Instead of battling the Pokemon to weaken it then catch it, you have to play a Pokemon Go style minigame where you have to aim your Pokeball using the motion controls on the TV or the gyro controls in handheld mode. I like this change, as in past Pokemon games, I would pick and choose what Pokemon to catch and use on my team because it was so tedious catching Pokemon. But in this game, I feel more compelled to catch them all since I find it more fun. If you're worried that Pokemon won't get the experience points they need from the wild battles, don't worry, as Pokemon in your party can still get experience from catching the Pokemon. There's unfortunately a big fault to this catching system, and that's playing on the TV. When you're playing portably, it controls fine like a normal Pokemon game, but on the TV, you have to use one Joy-Con like a TV remote. This is an unorthodox and uncomfortable way to control a game, and it doesn't help that the motion controls for catching Pokemon on the TV don't work well, but the worst part about this is that you can't use a Pro Controller or the two Joy-Cons on the TV. Just the one Joy-Con, which means that the only way to play this game comfortably is in handheld mode. And for the first main Pokemon game on a home console, yeah, not being able to play it well on the TV is kind of an issue. Continuing on the negativity train for a bit, the game is unfortunately stuck with only Generation 1 Pokemon, which seems normal since it's a remake of the Generation 1 games, but I think the game could have been so much more interesting if they included Pokemon from other gens and put them into Gen 1, so they can please newer Pokemon fans and make themselves superior to the old games with a lot more Pokemon to catch, but instead we got the Generation 1 Pandering Simulator of 2018. On to more positive things, Let's Go follows the Sun and Moon way of not using HMs, thank God, and it introduces the Pokemon Box, a portable PC so you can manage all the Pokemon you've catched even if they're not in your party. Usually in past games, the PC would be at the Pokemon Center, so it's nice to have a portable one to switch out all your Pokemon on the fly. Other features include being able to play the game with a friend, Pokemon being able to walk with you like in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, with some Pokemon being rideable, and my personal favorite new feature, starters and other Pokemon that would normally be given as gifts are catchable in the wild. I love this feature. I can catch as many Squirtles as I want, and I really hope this gets kept in Sword and Shield so I can catch as many Sobbles as I want. We now arrive at the worst part of Pokemon Let's Go, the content equaling to the price. You get a 20-hour adventure in the main game, which is basically just a beat-for-beat Pokemon Yellow with a few additional changes here and there. Then you get to the post-game. I hate Let's Go's post-game. The post-game has you tediously grind every single Pokemon to beat the 153 Master Trainers. Some of them you can't even access since Mew is exclusive to the Pokeball Plus, some Pokemon are in the other version, and Meltan is exclusive to Pokemon Go. The game's content would be passable if it was $40 or a more reasonable $30, but this game is 60 freaking bucks. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon released a year before this game on the 3DS, and it had more content for $40. As much as I had fun with this game, it's not worth $60, especially since the previous Gen 1 remakes, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, had more content than this game, and those were released on the Game Boy Advance in 2004, yet the newest remake has less content? Talk about being backwards. Overall, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee are good games with many elements that can evolve the Pokemon series into a new direction, but it's bogged down with iffy controls on the TV and being one of the most barren Pokemon games content-wise, especially for being one of the more expensive ones. But it's still a fun time if you buy that at a discount and play it in handheld mode. Once again, I'm stuck on how to end a video. Screw it. Play the guns clip.
Guns, 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 guns.